Should I try an intro today? Just fully wrote.
Yeah,
Just like,
yes.
All right. Sup, everybody. Welcome back to Dad Strides. It's Caleb and Niles.
What? That's what you had? That's so bad.
I was like, let me try an
What's
intro.
up, everybody? Welcome back to the Dad Strides podcast. It's your boys. It's your dads. It's your lads. It's Caleb and Niles.
Whoa, if we were like a UK-based podcast,
Yeah.
dads and lads.
Yeah, dads and lads is pretty good. I feel like more people in the States have been using lads, though. I've noticed. Like, lads has become somewhat of like a euphemism in the American culture, but it doesn't sound as cool. Nothing that's supposed to sound British sounds better in American. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I didn't know if I would track what you just said, but then it made sense, actually.
Yeah, of course.
Because the way they say it works so well with the accent.
Right.
And then
yes,
when us just Americans say it, it's pretty boring sounding.
It's the same with Australia. Like, you don't say I'm going to Melbourne. You don't say that. You say I'm going to go to Melbourne. Aki's. I mean, don't get me started on the Aussie. I can't. Okay, but enough of me rambling. Today, I want to talk less because I want to hear everything about the Cocodona million, the Cocodona 894, whatever the distance is. Take us. I'm going to interview you.
But also, I still have a couple other topics I want to.
I know, but that's the main. I think one, I'm genuinely curious. Yeah. Two, it's such a unique race because it's so long. And then it's just multiple days. There's so many aspects to this that I think is that we.
I can touch on what it is really quick. We probably have a lot of listeners that might not know, but also I teased it at the last episode. I was like, there might be something exciting. So if you did hear that part, basically I got invited to pace and crew somebody at Cocodona 250. Kevin Russ, shout out, OG legendary photographer turned endurance athlete, thru hiker, trail runner, really good dude. Anyways, the Cocodona 250 is like an insane. It's a 250-mile ultra that goes from. It starts just about an hour north of Phoenix in a spot called Black Canyon City, and then it goes all the way up to Flagstaff and follows like single track, double track, some road sections. It connects a bunch of pretty iconic Arizona landscapes, like different mountain ranges to the Coconino Plateau.
So it's gorgeous.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
Nice.
And then you get to go through some towns as well, like some cool old mining towns, and then into the town of like Prescott, which is like a modern town, but also has it's cool stuff. However, I saw everything. I'm operating on a few hours of sleep. So I don't know how much I took it all in. But anyways, this event is amazing, dude. And quick shout out to the event. We're recording this on the 21st.
Yeah, so it's a few weeks after.
A couple weeks after. But dude, registration just went live for next year, 2026, yesterday. It sold out already.
Wow.
Bro, the race costs like $1,700. They can only, I think, 300 runners. Yeah, it's
I guess because there's so much
logistical help.
Yeah, so much BS.
People.
Yes.
Yeah, so much BS, dude.
That is nuts. $1,700.
So yeah, the experience is crazy. So check this out. I brought this for the pod. If you're watching it, this is probably the coolest. I didn't get any merch because I didn't even show up until like last minute. This is the Cocodona Pacer bib.
That would honestly be a sick shirt.
Dude, they have cool merch. So the whole Cocodona vibe, whatever it is, I think it's a few things. It's an extremely long challenge where I think nowadays a lot of people have figured out how to run hundreds. They're like, this is, an event. It's 24 hours or less.
Guess. Yeah.
They
what
know
does
how
that
to
even
fuel.
mean?
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
Think, dude, it's people have kind of cracked the code. So it's like they know how to take the right amount of carbs. This one with the sleep thrown in, no one. I think it has this allure to extreme endurance athletes that are like, can I do it? How is my body going to feel at mile 170?
It's kind of the next frontier. I saw someone do. They did like two races back to back. Like they did a 100-mile race and then a 250 and called it a 350. And it was like the first time someone had done that. I'll try to get more info on it because I do feel like
people have done everything under the sun these days. But from like an organized standpoint, like when you want to sign up for a race that takes the average person like 5 days to finish, essentially it's a long hike, but you want the logistics dialed so that your money is going to a good spot. Shout out to Aravaipa and the whole Cocodona race. It is, dude, because sold out again. It's just become a thing. They also do the other major side of it, I'd say, is like they have a live stream that literally goes with like commentators that goes the entire week. So Cocodona week now is becoming like you can just tune into it. So me, because I'm such a trail running nerd and watch every piece of content that exists.
Yeah.
Dude, I've followed this race when it started. It started in like 2021, I think.
Wow,
I even watched
new.
Jamil's vlogs before it of scouting the course. He's like, yeah, I got this idea. I want to link all these sections together. This dude, yeah, so I've been like more or less like been a fan of the event and just curiosity. And the live stream that goes on the whole time, like every runner has a tracker, so you can like track them, but then the live stream's going and they have like pretty nice drone footage. And the quality gets better every year, so it's insane. It's a whole, it's its own world, dude.
What how far did you run?
Okay, total? Yeah, so I go down there, kind of strike mission. Just I was like, I mean, shout out to my wife for letting me go. Work schedule worked out perfectly.
Shout out to the wives. What up?
What up?
Always.
Shout out to Kevin again for asking me to go. And so we went down there on like race started Monday. It's so funny. The race starts Monday to Friday. It's like a week, work week thing.
It's a work week.
I get down there and gun goes off 5 a.m. Monday, nice and early, and a pacer can come in at mile 77.
Okay.
That's the first like crude aid station stop. The runners, but dude, the gnarly thing is the runners start with like a 10,000 foot climb in the first like 50K or 37 miles, which is like a lot of climbing for that short amount of time. So the race is pretty tough in general. I think there's a lot of factors that make it tough, but I got the first pacing leg. So Kevin ended up coming in. He had a bunch of like little flare-ups that made him not be able to run, which was a bummer. So he ended up power hiking, and he comes from the through hiking background, so like got into a good groove. Basically, I picked him up at mile 77 and we just power hiked. He came in at like 3 a.m. And also, dude, the other crazy thing is like Courtney DeWalter was in this race. You have like Max Joliffe. You have all these like big hitters. So I'm like kind of these like prominent people. So it was just fun to be around that environment. So I did the first pacing job was 30 miles with him, which took like, because we were just walking, hiking like with, with a purpose. Yeah. I got to go through the Satisfy aid station, which was like sick. They're like known for, being like kind of a bougier aid station where they have like couches set up. They have like Normatec boots and like coffee. And it was cool. I met some of the Satisfy guys too. Some of the like marketing team and like the main dudes. They were so nice too.
They're like, can we do a shoot for you or no? Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay,
they were so vibed out and just like the coolest clothes. But 31 miles was my first pacing job. Loved every minute of it. Just chatting with Kevin a little bit, keeping him in the flow. And
did you guys talk a lot, or was it like silence because at some point you're just working?
He's not a big talker. He's like the quietest dude ever. But likes to just he's definitely like
to exist in the mountains.
Yeah, but he's also like a trail running, like he loves data, like the data and like knowing what's going on. So I'd pull up on my phone the live stream and we'd just be talking about the race. Cause like probably if you're not in it or crewing, you're also watching it. So that was pretty funny. Yeah, we talked on and off, but I tried to keep it. I didn't want to annoy him, but I wanted to like,
hey man, what's going on? Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't a catch up. It was like, I think we were trying to focus. He was also like going through like he had like a hip flare up and a lower back thing. So I feel like I knew he was bummed on the day he could have had. I truly think if he had the day he wanted, he could have gotten the top. The field was pretty stacked, but he could have gotten in the top 20 based on his like background, and he can like lack of sleep. He can just go. So you lose a lot of time at like aid stations if you choose to sleep or like hang out for a long time. So our crew did a good job of, even though he's moving kind of slow, just keeping him going. And I would like massage gun his legs and quads. I'd like cleaned his feet and everything. It was kind of it was good. We were just like you just get into this like dirtbag mindset of like, no, keep moving. And everyone around there is by day 2, day 3 are so fried, dude. It's hilarious.
Right.
The other crews just roll into these like aid stations and you're like just sleeping in the front seat of a car for like an hour. Right. Everyone's so wrecked.
You'll have to excuse there's a lawnmower guy in my backyard. That's probably crazy loud. But I'll ask another question.
No worries, dude.
So you ran 30 miles to start, and then what?
Then I had like a break. I mean, it wasn't, again, it was hiking, so it wasn't like, my legs did get tired at the end because one section we went through had so much mud caked on that it just piled on the bottom of your feet. You know that sticky mud that just like becomes cake? Yeah. So I'm adding like a pound or 2 per foot step. And so probably after like 5 hours of that, maybe it was like in the mud proper, like 3 hours, I could feel my like adductors, or I think that's your adductor on the front of your hip, pulling your leg up. I'm like, man, I'm getting sore. I'm happy to be done after about 30 miles. And Kevin obviously had to just keep going. And then I slept a little bit in this dude Sean's truck on and off and just helped crew as they came in. But we had another girl on our team, Vivian, who paced. She's a really good runner. And then Sean paced a lot. So we just kind of all flip-flopped. And my next section was like 17 miles. But my next pacing section I did was the coolest one. It was through Sedona, which is like,
cool.
Have you been there?
No, I haven't, but I've heard a lot about it. I've also
During
heard
the day.
Everyone talks about the Sedona vortexes, so I'm a little scared. But
wait, what's that?
You even heard about, dude? Sedona is one of those like universalist spiritual places that people like flock to. Yeah,
dude, I stay away from that stuff, bro.
Well, of course, yeah. Shit's dark, bro.
Yeah. But no, it was. I get it, dude. Crystals for days, bro. Yeah. It was beautiful. So I am like, a lot of the other courses pretty, but like Sedona, people like go there to vacation. These $1 million homes, like you're walking
to tourist.
The section of and there's a really popular trail that's like 4 miles called the Hangover Trail. So it's on like slick rock and you're following these cool like white painted marks and you're like sometimes hands on knees like climbing up a rock face. So that part was so fun and just beautiful. So took some photos there. And I was glad I had that section of pacing. The other dude that was pacing, Sean, had like all these like long night sessions. Just Kevin's like falling asleep while walking, dude. It was crazy. So
that is crazy.
Man, it was sick though. Like, I don't think I'll ever do it just because I don't truly think I would enjoy multiple nights, maybe one night, but like, dude, the race is too long, bro. It's just too long. Yeah.
What was the dirtbag culture like? Like, what were some of those things you saw? Because it has to get so crusty. It has to be like one of the crustiest. It can get.
Yes and no. So you get the people who are definitely like, and I feel like I kind of fall under this camp where you get a lot of crust, but everyone is so organized because logistically you have to be for this race. Like Kevin had printouts of what he wanted at every aid station, like his electrolytes, everything like mapped out like in a binder for us. You get people who are also really into gear because technical gear and like having all the layers and options. So you almost have like the dirtbag who has then elevated in their life to a place where they can afford this expensive race, but still want the safety and organization of an environment that like is conducive to going fast and like challenging yourself. But yeah, I mean, at the core of it, people are just like sitting on the ground, like all nasty, and they're like eating mashed potatoes that cost like, from just like housing them down and then like rubbing like lube on their nuts and just like, it's just stinky and like wet, but yeah, you can just see it in people's eyes. Like after like day 2, day 3, like some people are just like, I'm so over this. Like I'm tired. Like you got a lot of like not kids, but like probably dudes our age. Their parents are supporting them. They're like their crew and they're just kind of rolling it together. And the older parents and they're like 60s are just like,
what is
still happening? Out here?
Yeah. What did I sign up for?
But it's like a major, the cool thing about the race too, is like, it's so not about like, maybe even in the very front end, it's like, dude, it's just surviving to the finish. So many dropouts happen because, your body, you're over it. Especially this year had a lot of rain and mud, which is different for Arizona. So people are cold and wet, and then they want to they're done at mile 100. And then like Courtney dropped out. I don't think she can obviously run the distance and she was crushing, but I think her body just got cold and kind of shut down. And then.
So it was cold. Yeah. So obviously the desert gets cold at night, but you said it was raining. Yeah. Like, so it was never really that hot.
No. Uh,
Wow.
I think our Sedona section, I mean, was the hottest midday for me, and then I was in still like, I had like a sun long sleeve on to not get super burnt, but I just like a black shirt on, and I never felt hot once. Like
Whoa,
it
that's
was
crazy.
it was really good like running temperatures, but if you were a runner and when you're hiking, your heart rate's really low already. So if you're wet on top of that, then going into the night section where your body
Get
naturally
cold.
just gets like, I don't know. I think people just, it just slowly sets in. So I don't know much about like hypothermic mountain conditions. I just know if you're out there for more than 2 hours and you're wet, you're over it.
Right.
It's just so, dude, it's just so hard to comprehend the amount of time. And that's why, obviously, we can go into it in a bit, but my 100, I'm like, what's so funny is that I'm like, dude, my 100 doesn't seem long. Like, it does to me still. It's still a scary distance, but isn't that
Right.
weird how, like, your mind shift
Well, you've
will.
seen something 2.5 times bigger now, so it almost feels like
Dude, by day 3, I was just like, why are. This is too long.
right.
Like, this is
What
hilarious.
how did Kevin finish for those who are interested?
Kevin got, I think, 44th. So out of like, I think roughly 300 started. I think there was like 60 or so DNFs, and then a bunch of people walking in behind him too. So the fact that he hiked his way from mile 37, he hiked
Whoa.
220 miles and still got 40th. Like,
Right.
yeah. And he
Whoa.
like slowly picked off, like moved. I'd say he like bounced between like moving back and then moving up, which was funny. So just that slow, consistent 2.5 to 3 mile an hour pace of like hiking. Yeah, but
And
he
then
could. Dude, he signed up again next year. Like
oh,
I
no
saw him.
way.
He
Okay,
got on the list,
so
and
you're gonna be round 2 next year for sure.
I would be down for sure if I can, if it makes sense for like work and schedule. I would like. I definitely got my share of the experience. I'm happy. I would definitely do it again for Kevin to see him have a better day, but if it works
A
out,
better
so
5 days.
yeah, yeah.
What what
Also, dude, fun for the Dad Strides listeners, dude. He kind of, it's gonna sound weird. He taught me. He told me that he learned on the PCT because he was pretty fast on the PCT. He'd do like
Mhm.
40 to 50 mile a days.
Oh wow, that
Pretty
is fast.
consistent. Just sleep, get up. It's all about being efficient. But he's like, yeah, man, I learned to walk and pee pretty well. So he like walked without breaking stride. He
Really?
and he did it. He's like, hey, don't look back. I'm gonna pee. I'm like, all right. So he would be behind me because like usually the pacer is just like a handful of feet in front. If you're on a single track, if you're next to each other on like a wide double track, you just hang out. But it's just easier so they can zone out.
Wait,
But
so
he's
how
like,
did he do it? If you can't look, how did he do it?
yeah, yeah, he was just, I'm like, he said someone taught him on the PCT, and then he's like, yeah, you just kind of pull it out and you like do like a little bit of a squat, but keep your legs like flowing forward so you don't turn sideways
That
or
is
anything.
so next level. I love it. Wow.
It's all about that efficiency. He did it so many times, and then it came to the point of, it was actually something as pacing, I was like, if he didn't tell me not to look back, I was like, are you drinking enough liquids? Like mentally as a pacer, I was kind of like,
Oh,
hey, are
interesting.
you drinking
Kinda
your, like,
caught
you
on to
drink your
that.
another bottle? Like making sure they're keeping up on the
That's so
calories
funny.
in the drinking. Because
That
one time he
is
didn't tell me for like 4 hours. And I'm like, hey, have you peed lately? He's like, oh yeah, I should probably drink another bottle.
that's funny. That's
Yeah, man.
wild.
It's just a
I
different
love it. It's
world,
way
man.
better than
Yeah.
peeing your pants though. I mean, peeing your pants sucks.
Or even if you want to keep moving, like stopping and peeing because if you're peeing, a couple times an hour, that's just
Right.
like wasted motion, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. I was laughing, bro.
Right, that is funny. Well, we can come back to Cocodona. My next question is, okay, so you've now paced this big race. You crewed CCC when we were in France a couple
Yeah.
years ago. You've been around you've done a bunch of ultras now. Not a bunch, but like you've done your fair share. Like I would say you've done more
Yeah,
than
I
most
feel like
people I know.
Yeah.
What is your advice to me when I pace you for your 100 for that last 30 miles? How do you want me to pace
Wait,
you?
I don't know if we've fully said that, but yeah, the plan right now, guys, is
Well, I
Niles.
just broke the news.
I think we might have mentioned it once, but yeah, I'm doing the Hood 100. We have 2 months, pretty much exactly 2 months out from 5 days from now.
Yep.
Which is crazy. Dude, that comes fast. Niles is going to pace me the last roughly, I think I can get you at mile 70.
Cool.
So I
30
think the
miles.
last 30 miles kind of in the dark. My advice to pacers, I mean, this was really my first like big pacing job, but
Yeah. But it was kind of like the nth degree of pacing. Like
I think the high level is just kind of like read the room, like how your runner's doing. If they're having a good, if they're doing and doing good and they're in a good headspace, it's like just hype it up. If they're like in a low moment, like don't be annoying or like try to go full Goggins.
So like if you're so if you're having a low moment, don't try to pick you up out of it. Let you climb out of it.
I think for me and you personally, I was like, I actually think it's gonna be nice because you're not so teched out with all your running knowledge that it's just more of like, I would almost rather have like you or like my brother who knows nothing. You know the right amount of stuff. Who's just like, dude, at this point you just want to like hang out and you're in the woods, like you're on a trail.
Right.
Like I don't even want to like talk about like race tactics or strategies unless I'm just like having a day. I'll probably be like, how far was the next runner in front that came through when I picked you up? Like, is there someone to hunt down?
Right.
Other than that, it's like,
I'm naturally going to take it very seriously, but I also am just going to be giggling half the time just because like if I see you like throw over something, I'm just going to lose it. I mean, it's so funny.
Yeah, you can get some clips, dude.
Yeah,
I'll bring
I think the hard part is it'll be in the middle of the night, so we don't get to experience Mount Hood's glory. Or will it be like sunrise?
No, I mean, it starts at 5. I haven't not even like built out like splits as they call it, because I do want to have. Yeah, I want to have.
If you're finishing in 24 hours, then you're 5 a.m. again the next morning.
Yeah, I think 24 is the goal. I think for conservative, I feel like if I had the day I wanted, best day, I could probably do 22 hours. But because it's in like the middle of July or end of July, there's a lot of light out still. We'll have like some dusk and some like early morning blue, but there'll probably be a good chunk of like. I mean, that's 50K we're running together roughly.
I
so
know.
That's still going to take
I've started
like
running
6 hours.
Yeah, so I've started training for my 50K.
Hey, it's a free 50K for you.
It's a free.
But you're gonna hike it mostly. But we'll see.
Well, I hope. I mean, my fear, if I'm being honest, is that you just have a day and you get to me and you're cooking that last 30 miles and you drop me, and then I have to live with being dropped. I have to live with being dropped by a dude who's just ran 70 miles.
The fact that if that happens in my first 100, there's just the likelihood is so low at that point, bro. You're like such a solid runner anyway that like once you just get your hill legs going for the next couple of weeks, it's like you'll be fine.
How much vert are we looking at for that last 30 miles?
I don't know for that specific section. The whole thing's like 17,000.
Okay.
So I feel like it will be. I'll look it up. There's a couple.
Even if
climbs.
you are having a day, we'll definitely still walk the hills. It's like
no, for sure. Unless it's like the last 10 miles and you're like you have some matches to burn. But no, I'm excited. It'll be fun. So 2 months out, I feel like we could do a quick update on our fitness.
Right. I can go because mine's pretty quick. I think I'm injury free. I think a couple weeks ago we talked about like just running on the hurt ankle just because it'd been a couple months
it worked.
And who cares, and it worked. So that goes to show that injuries aren't all in your head. No, it's it worked. So right now ankle feels pretty good. I'm kind of running like right now like 12-ish miles a week. I think I got up to 17 miles one week, and I'm just going to slowly ramp that up. I don't want to injure myself again, and we are getting to summer. But my youngest kid's now around 8 months old, so I'm going to start getting my mornings back, which will be like try to run a couple mornings a week, then a couple hot runs throughout the week, and I can hopefully get to like 20 miles-ish. If I can like sustain 20 to 25 miles a week for like 5 weeks, then I feel like I'll be fine for this.
Yeah, you'll feel like a
pacing.
Couple notches of fitness. You'll be like, oh, okay, that feels better.
Yeah, I do want to like, is there like a pacing fit? Should we match? Like, should we wear like a matching shirt or something? That'd be kind of funny.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
I'm trying to make this as funny as possible.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, I'll probably
should I have a fake mustache? Like, should I get like a fake mustache for the run?
That is ultra culture, dude. It's just goofy.
Right, just be goofy.
Yeah, it's just having fun. Honestly, whatever's the most comfortable, but I'll probably have switched my shirts
that
a
mustache
couple times.
Would suck. A fake mustache for 30 miles and just sweat on your brow.
A good thing is like a super bright headlight or like.
Dude, I have a good headlamp. I bought like a running headlamp, and then I lost it for like 2 years, and then Sarah found it. Smart Wife,
sick.
If you're an OG listener, we can bring that back. But Smart Wife found it.
I think we only have OG listeners.
That's true. Yeah. We have new people. Yeah. Who am I kidding? Yeah. For everyone new here,
we're so consistent.
It's like the same bucket of dudes who somehow think we're funny. Dude, that's so fun. What an experience. I remember you called me and you were hyped to get that message from Kevin. And so I'm glad you went and did it. We were also in prep for another job. So I'm just glad that it all worked out. Yeah.
Speaking of headlamps, he had like this really awesome, I'm not going to get it just cause it's one night. But he had like a waist light and like went around your waist.
I've heard people do both.
Bright.
So you do both so that it like, you like eliminate more shadows that way or something.
Oh yeah. Or I guess it would make a shadow. Like it would give contrast to like a rock.
Oh, so you could, maybe that was it. I remember it was just like it's like a way better proportion of light. That's why people do it.
I just remember it was like super bright, and I mean I'm not gonna buy anything. I've already bought enough stuff for this. It's like it'll be fine. Yeah, but so my training though has been pretty good. Obviously that Cocodona week was really good time on feet, slow and kind of powerful. But last week I was pretty happy. I hit 54 miles.
Oh, that's a lot.
And the week before with Cocodona was 64. Before that, I've been right around like upper 40s, and then I'm kind of targeting now, so 2 months out. Dude, I would be so happy if I could be in the 50 to 60 mile range a week. Mm-hmm. It's pushing myself for sure, because that's like some days, like this morning I was on the treadmill with, dude, I got my weighted vest. Nice. I forgot. We got to talk about that. Dude, last time it was protein, now I'm weighted vest. Sure enough, I'm just going to be hanging with Nick Bear before we know it. But so I did get the weighted vest, and I do like some slower hiking. It's more just like a 30-minute at like 20% incline, but I'm not logging any of that on Strava. I just put my like actual running, but like strength work, I'm trying to up that. And then, but yeah, if I can be consistent at 50, I know I can finish the thing. It's more just like at some point,
right?
Time and life and how much you want to put into it, because it's a priority, but at some point it's like, this is getting too much kind of
What's
thing.
Your peak mileage going to be in a week, you think? Like, do you think you'll try to go higher or just keep it here?
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because I think at some point I'm going to do 2 back-to-back long runs. Like, so right now I'm just doing like 1 long run a week, and that's like usually like 18 to 20 miles.
Right.
Or hours. Usually I'm going back like 3 hours. I did my mountain loop last week for the first time, and dude, it was so like ankle rolly. I forgot because I haven't ran on those trails because they were snowed in all winter. I'm like, dang. And luckily the Mount Hood trails are pretty groomer. So there's a couple sections
especially
of rocks.
At night,
but
dude, that's so grindy at night.
Yeah, they'll be totally fine trails there. But I think a couple sections of technical stuff. But yeah, topping out would be maybe like 70. I'm not like, I know some of these ultra runner guys go like 100, 110. That's marathoners too, but I'm just not. Marathoners like get it done quicker though, so it's kind of like
right, like the miles are faster,
way faster. So they're like, yes, their mileage going up, but yeah, that's the goal. I mean, it's hard with work. We'll have one. The good thing with me is we'll have this like kind of 12 to 13 day work trip coming up, and I think I'm gonna do like a secret challenge to myself where it's like if I can hit on a job like. Oh, we're not at a hotel. We're staying at an Airbnb. That sucks, actually.
Why?
Because the hotels have treadmills where I can always like get up 30 minutes, go shower, like.
Right.
Oh well. I guess I'll have to just go outside, run the block.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to really challenge myself. The last work trip I did when I was at about 30, 40 miles a week, I hit it just barely. So this one will be fun, and I have that weekend maybe with you.
Yeah,
because we'll be down in LA to like do like a 15.
Well, in that weekend, you're essentially wifeless and kidless, so you can literally
priority
run the entire day if you wanted.
Run and then hit the beach and just fall asleep.
Yeah, sounds pretty good.
Yeah, no. So that's the update. I feel strong. No real injuries, just like little things. I'm just taking it kind of slow and strong, and I'm excited, dude. 2 months. It's gonna come quick too, which is crazy. So it'll be another solid month and a half, and then taper for a couple weeks, and let's get it over with.
Show up and blow up, and then and then just come out super hot and sprint it.
You know what? No, so dude, Cocodona was really a good mindset shift with all the people just like seeing all the people even in the front just hiking so much because dude, I have to think 100 is still so long. What if I hiked the first 25 miles, which is a massive hike. A day hike for 25 miles is big, right?
Right.
And then you go into a 75-mile run. That sounds insane still. So it's like, dude, there is no reason to go out hard. I should seriously hike. I should just hike the first 10 miles and then have a good 90. It's like all these people that are just going to go out hard, like it's just so I still think I
It's
just
just
need to
cool to
keep
go out
processing
hard,
the
and then you kind of
distance.
settle in. You're like, oh shit, I need to chill.
It's cool. Well, you feel there's like the natural like energy of the start line. People have been prepping for this like I have
Right.
for X amount of months, and then I'm just gonna go out so easy, dude.
Ooh,
I'm
ooh,
make me the first time I see you at the first crew aid
right.
station when you're just there, just be like, you're going too fast. Just make me slow
Should
down.
I? Yeah. Are you gonna send me like the information that I need of like where to be and shit?
Oh, wait, Ariana's gonna do all that too. So
Oh,
she's gonna be the
what
main
did you
like
call Ariana? I had Smart Wife, and you had
dope. You called her dope wife.
Dope
Yeah,
Wife. That's what it
dope
was.
wife.
I was like, was it Chill Wife? I was like, no. Was it Vibe Wife? No.
Chill.
I was like racking through my head, like, what would you say?
Yeah, no,
Dope Wife?
she's on it. She's helped me crewed me at that one when I did Black Canyon that one time. So
Okay,
she
cool.
like she'll know as much as you do about like the running side of things. And then but yes,
Right.
I'll have all my stuff like organized as well about what I want at each one.
Cool.
But again, I don't want to waste time at aid station, but I'm also not going to come through like, give me my bottles. I'm going to go. Like
Right.
I'm going to
Yeah.
just
I
take
mean,
the whole
if you
day.
start like screaming at me, I'm just gonna giggle.
Dude, I would never.
Miles, hurry up.
Dude, the vibe at just 100 in general, unless you're literally an elite athlete, like
Right.
people are like, "Oh, what's up?" Like it's so
Right.
it's all fun, dude.
That's great.
So yeah, oh, okay.
No go.
So yeah, weighted vest was the new update, and
Yep.
then another quick thing I want to shout out, which was just awesome, was for the dads out there. I did my first ever. Barry rode her pedal bike on the trail bike path, and I jogged next to her.
Centennial
and
Trail?
Yep.
Yep.
Centennial Trail, just paved trail. Dude, we did 4 miles together. And it was the first time I ran. I think I was running a 12-minute pace,
Yeah.
12:15 when she
Yeah.
was biking.
Yes.
And it was a nice day out. I was like,
It's
I've made
sick.
it. I've
It's
made
sick.
it. This
Yes.
is, I can run. My daughter's biking and enjoying it. And like we stopped at like, there's a dock by this little like pond and then stopped for some snacks. I was like, dude, this is awesome. So much better than stroller miles.
Right. Yeah. Tips for that, just so you know, because I've done a handful of those, is you have to have snacks and water. So sometimes I would still push the stroller just empty, just to have it be like a little command center in case they needed anything. I've also done it where I've just used a little pack. But obviously you're not going to run that far. But use a little pack to keep extra water and snacks in, because like if you're doing an out and back and you get 2.5 miles away and you got to come back and your kid starts to lose it, like you're so effed. You're so effed.
Yeah.
Like you're calling wife to come pick you up, which is just not.
Oh yeah, honestly, Ariana put the snacks in her little
There you
bike
go.
basket.
There you
I was
go.
like,
Yeah.
good call.
Yes, the bike basket's a great spot. I mean,
Yeah.
that's totally fair game.
I think I was also just fired up because seeing your kid like pedal biking for the first time, like she just
and
turned
exercising
4.
and watching you exercise and like be disciplined. Like the whole thing is badass. It's
dude,
awesome.
I just was like, I've made it. Like this is like my dad's strides
Right.
peak. Like we're doing something together, and she's like biking, and I still get to run. Yeah. So that was like maybe a week or so ago, but we haven't done it again since. But I'm definitely gonna do
I
more.
see on the list here,
good,
poop
easy runs.
story. What is that?
I was just putting topics of. Okay, so yeah, you want one more? I'm talking a lot this episode, but it's all
But
good.
hey, that was the intention.
Okay, good poop story. I never have issues like mid-run pooping. Like it's very rare. My body
What do you
cooperates.
mean issues? Like you don't
like where you just feel it coming, and then you're like,
like
I
you
have to pull
go.
off and poop.
Right.
Yeah. So that usually doesn't happen to me on like tons of long
Yeah,
runs.
does Kevin have a poop squatty run too?
No, dude, this is not Cocodona related. This is my own story from last week. So it was the mountain loop run. So I did like
Okay.
Lake 22, Heather Lake, just the
Yeah.
double, and it was a 3-hour run. And so I started out good. I had my pack and everything, full pack, like extra water, and then I kept an extra bottle in my car. So I did Lake 22, came back to the parking lot, finished those bottles, swapped out a bottle, and ran the road over to Heather Lake, ran up it. And so as I'm going up the road, I'm like, dude, this is hitting me. I'm like probably
it's
an
burning.
hour and a half into the run. I'm like, I gotta poop. And I knew there was a bathroom at the trailhead. So you have to run from the road up to the parking lot, which is like 1 mile up a forest road.
Right.
And I'm like pinching it off at this point. I'm like, what did I eat last night? Just thinking to myself, I felt fine the rest of the morning. And I'm like, dude, I have to poop. So I'm like, it's okay. I got my pack. I just came back from Cocodona. So I have this little, like, it's almost like I don't know the material, but it's this little like sack of, and I just keep my like emergency stuff in it. I have a tiny pocket knife. I have Ziploc bags, some KT tape. It's basically my running pack, like emergency stuff. And I'm like, I know I got wipes in there. I had these like camping wipes, this like small pack that I brought to Cocodona just in case. Like I just wanted to be self-efficient and not rely on like anything else just in case something happened. So I'm like, it's all good. I have my stuff. If I'll be able to make it to this bathroom though. Dude, I get up like halfway up that climb, still like half a mile to go. I'm like, I can't make it. So I pull off into the woods. I'm like, it's fine. I just like bubble guts. Like I pooped.
Right.
And I open the pack, get my thing out. I didn't have the wipes. Like, I kid you not, I don't have the wipes. And it was the one thing that I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I can pull off and poop. I have wipes. Like, no big deal.
Right.
I'm looking everywhere. I'm like, oh, cool. Like, I don't have wipes. So all the bushes around me are like, it's like starting to rain at this point too. So I'm just like in a bad situation, all squatted out. And I'm like, I don't know what to grab. So I sacrificed the only thing that made sense, which was these like semi-thin gloves I had, but they were like decent gloves, like outdoor
That is
research.
a good thing to sacrifice. Like not like your good shirt.
I'm not taking off my so in that emergency pack, I had like I always have like a jacket, and I was wearing that because it was raining, and then gloves as well when it's like spring and kind of cold. And I got my knife out and cut the gloves so I could like have like multiple pieces.
You didn't just put the glove on your hand and just go wipe.
Oh, that's a good idea. Dude, just like finger.
Just get up all up in there.
Nah, dude. Well, I did get up all in there, but I wanted to make more pieces than like. Anyway, so I just like. So maybe I was just mad, so I wanted to cut something.
Yeah, you're like.
So yeah, dude, that was my poop story. I haven't pooped on a run in a while. And then the worst part is, dude, I'm done. I run around. The next corner is the parking lot corner, and I thought it was like I thought it was two more switchbacks up the road.
No.
And I'm like, I just wasted these like $20 gloves.
That is so.
They were older, but I was just like, so stupid, dude.
I've had a couple mid-run poops that they're not pretty. They're not pretty at all.
Usually, if you know where you're at, you can find the local bathroom, or there's like a toilet. Like it's just like, I don't know. I never think about that stuff too much because my body doesn't end up like going,
right?
Going berserk. That was gross, dude.
That's amazing. That is gross, but that's very funny and very relatable because happens to everyone. I remember as a kid, my dad told me when he used to run a lot, like he would always have to poo every time.
Yeah, and
it's funny.
I could totally see like a certain type of poo just like going and then just pulling your shorts back up but this wasn't like that.
I mean, if you got a clean pinch, then of course, but it's a little risky because there's no way to really know. I mean, you can assess said poo.
Yeah, you can look down.
Like,
but,
is it looking a little more dry and together or a little more runny?
Bro, if you're running, it's never dry.
Right.
It's never dry.
It's always you're shaking up the system a little bit.
Yeah, so that's my for trail running specifically, it's like get your little emergency kit together if you're going out for a long.
That's a good idea. Just a little something.
And in the spring in Washington for sure. And I broke my own rule yesterday actually. Always bring a rain jacket. Like if you have a pack or you have a way to put it on, but like if it's like semi cloudy and you're out somewhere in the mountains, dude. Rain is the worst. It can roll in.
Yeah, like it's going to rain.
Yeah, so I had that, but yeah, that's my two things of advice is like pack your little emergency kit. Always bring a jacket.
Right.
But yeah.
So good.
Good. I don't know. Any other topics you had?
I think I am going to cut coffee. Like I think I'm gonna try to give up coffee completely.
Okay.
So I'm actually on day 3 of less coffee. So 4 days ago, Sunday, I had my classic a bunch. Like I think
what sparked it?
Is I was drinking it. I was just drinking it all day. There's a couple things we get into, but I'll let you know how the journey goes, and I can get into the why maybe next episode. But it is Monday. I had one like full cup. Yesterday I had like a half cup, and today I've had like one sip. So I'm trying to like wean because I don't want to. If I were to go from like where I was at Because there were some days where I would have like 2 cups in the morning, an afternoon cup, and then like work in the night and have like a Celsius. Like, dude, that's like 500 milligrams of caffeine. It's a lot. So then I was just like, I probably need to chill on that, obviously. And
I
just
drink
like
a lot of coffee too.
And just like the discipline side of it, I was just like, it'd just be fun. Yeah, it'd be fun to try it. So yeah, that's kind of
an interesting update.
And I'll let you know how it goes. I mean, Caleb knows how much I'm just such a coffee hoe.
You'll save,
but
you'll save some money.
Yeah, we
Maybe.
yeah. So we
Going
canceled our coffee subscription, which is big. And
Oh dang! You made some definitive. You made some financial
and
moves.
And this morning the kids
it.
wanted to go get a coffee, and I didn't get one. I just got them.
Wait,
like,
is Sarah doing it too?
Milks. Sarah doesn't drink coffee every day as is. Like she drinks it like how I want to, which is like it's a treat, but it's not it's not a need. It sounds
Dude, well maybe you won't have a poop story going forward if you stop drinking all this coffee.
Well,
maybe
I know, and then I was kind of looking. I was like, oh, if like, just like basically, I'm just so curious how I'm gonna feel because I've heard people who cut it feel more energetic, like they feel way better because they're relying on their body's like natural rhythms to bring them energy, which are in the mornings and in the evenings. Like your body naturally wants to settle down.
Whoa, dude, are you from Sedona?
Yeah, so I got my crystals here, and they're like completely aligned. Yeah, no. So yeah, that'll be my story. Maybe we'll talk about that. That is my story. Maybe we'll talk about that in the next couple weeks as it goes, because I could totally crumble.
Well, so I actually had an idea. So July 26th, my birthday, is the day the 100 miler is. All of July, for the most part, I want to try to cut caffeine as well, because when the race comes, I want to be able to like hit caffeine and
feel
just
it.
like and it work like the best. So like do a little caffeine fast and then have another thing I've never tried that people were definitely doing at Cocodona. It's like doing like a drug. Well, it is. They were doing caffeine pills like every handful of hours, like 100 milligram pill, which I've never done a caffeine pill, but for a long haul event, it makes sense.
Well, because it's not going to be, because like if you're drinking coffee, there's the coffee side effects of it. Like your tummy feels weird, and if you're drinking caffeine pill, there's also like something in coffee that causes a crash when there's coffee in, like you see all these coffee alternatives like mud water that has caffeine in it. It just doesn't have like theanine or something. I'll do more research, but there's like a chemical that they think causes the crash. So they say, maybe it's true. I don't know. I mean, there's so many things on the internet that tell you you're wrong. So I'm kind of just like, I take it all with a grain of salt. But
from the actual like coffee bean or whatever.
Right.
Like
Exactly. So I think caffeine pills are probably just the cleanest way to get caffeine, which also sounds like a drug. It's just the cleanest way.
It is. Yeah, just hit it. You just snort it actually.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just right off of your headlamp.
right off your. It's in the gel, like the top of the goo pack.
Just a little. Yeah, you got this little. You got your little key.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we ended on drugs, but yes, I think. Thanks everyone for listening. Super fun. We're gonna keep running. Got some fun stuff coming up.
Yeah.
And
dude, I actually think too in the next, just for fun, I think I want to go. And again, I could be convinced to not do this. But because I'm feeling strong right now, I want to do a 5K time trial on a track, which is completely different. I'm not doing any speed work, but I'm just curious how consistent I could hit splits. So maybe next month I might like do that as, randomly.
Yeah, and that to me,
don't want to get injured, but
that for me could be a good just like, where's your fitness at, test.
Yeah,
because I'm not going to be in good shape.
I've never ran a 5K on a track too, so I'm like, I might just try it.
Yeah,
not literally all out to the point I'm like hunched over and like I just want to
like 12 and a half laps or something.
I think that's exactly what it is. Yeah,
or like 13 laps.
I think it's 12 and a half.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice, dude. Track fan. Big track fan over here.
Yeah. Big college brain over here. Okay, sweet. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll check you in the next one.
Woohoo. Peace.
Later.